like embarrassed of how messy this windowsill is, but that's a little booklet my mom made me. Very nice and beautiful day today. Hey, how y'all doing? That's what I feel like right now, starting this camera up. Guys, I mean, just to say the least, I have been logged off the internet for the past few months, or for the month, I think for the month of February, I have just been off the grid. I have been filming and I have so many things in my chamber that honestly midway through I was like, I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to do this. And I gave up on it. Because I'm not a simple gal, okay? I can't just post, it does something to me spiritually. I can't just sit down and film a video and not edit the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? I love a good dank meme, okay? Bring back dank memes, all right? Like, I just, I love it. I love it. I love it. But, you know, with that, it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to edit and all that stuff. And I'm getting used to it. I'm giving myself grace. But updates. I've been in New York for pretty much the entire month of February. As you guys know, I quit my job earlier this year. So this month has been a lot of me sitting in bed, laying in bed, just being like, what am I gonna do? What's gonna happen? What do I do? What do I do? And just a lot of ruminating, a lot of reflection, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of panicking, but also a lot of, oh, okay, things are gonna be fine. And a lot of prayer. Honestly, I think just during that time, I genuinely, like, I did not, like, for lack of better words, I was just like, I don't really like, ooh, who calling me? Girl, hold on, y'all. But for lack of better terms, I just didn't want to be like, I was like, I don't really want to record my process in this, you know what I mean? And I thought about, you know, I feel like a lot of people are talking about right now Doechii doing The Artist's Way, and, you know, like looking back at her YouTube channel and like how like she documented her process and things like that. And I feel like there was a part of me that was like, girl, like, you don't want to do too much. Don't do too much. Like, you know, like, you don't got to show everything, kind of a thing. And I just recently watched Nathan Zed's video on how, like, he basically just made a video about how, like, effort is, like, not seen as, like, the norm or being cool. And I feel like I was judging myself for being like, why do you care so much? You know, like, you don't want to be a YouTuber. Like, you're just making videos for funsies. Like, why do you care so much to put in so much effort? Like, just do like a get ready with me and keep it moving. To which I would, but I don't know, it's my channel. I don't like, I wake up every day and sometimes I'm like, I want to make a video like this, and other times I'm like, I want to do this, you know? So I feel like I didn't have much content for like a get ready with me because I was literally in this bed every day, just trying to figure my life out. But like, I was big chilling. My hair, yo, I did my hair at the beginning of this month. It's giving, she's a little crusty. Like, she looks a little, yeah, but I'll probably redo her at some point. What's the point of me making this video? I don't really know. I just finished watching like this YouTube video, and it made me pick up the camera and be like, oh, you should record something. And now I am. This month of February has been exhausting, girls. I mean, one, just like the state of the world, it's like, I'm not even gonna be there and be like, oh, I'm not to be one of those people or whatever. Like, no, like, guys, it's scary. It's scary, and it's really fucking disappointing. Because like, it could have so easily been avoided. But, you know, it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing, and it's heartbreaking, and it's gut-wrenching. And I feel like a lot of people aren't going to be fully awoken until it directly affects them, you know? And it can be very draining and exhausting just to like exist in today's world. Just in general, I feel like also like being an artist these days is riddled with so much like shit, so much like crap. That's like, why do I have to deal with all of this? You know what I mean? I think I talked about this in previous vlogs, but like in March, I'm starting a new project in Florida, back home, and it's, oh, I actually have my play. It's a play called All the Natalie Portmans. It's honestly, it's one of my first professional shows. My first ever professional show, I was like a swing and I never went on, but this is like my first full-time like production that I'll be a part of. And I think like during this whole month while I've been inside anxiously withering away, I've just been reminded about the power of art, and equally how our artistry is really, it's at war right now, in the sense that it's being targeted by a lot of like political forces. I mean, we literally saw Donald Trump fire like, I don't remember the position of the person, but like fire like the head of the Kennedy Center. And like I think he stopped out of want of not sounding stupid. I'm just gonna put it up on the screen. I'll probably put up more information actually on the screen, because like I feel like I don't have the full bullet points of like what it all is, but more so using it to get to my point of being like, I feel like art more than anything right now is not only important, but it's also being targeted. And with this play, I'm doing it in Florida, and it's a play about different themes of like Black queer, Black lesbian identity. When, you know, Florida already is a state that's not very easy to do that in. And I don't know, it made me sit back and think like, what kind of artist do I want to be, but also what kind of person do I want to be in my life? I feel like in your 20s, you don't really know who you fully are as yet. You're kind of just trying to get to the type of person that you want to be in a way. But like, when it comes to my art, like I've had casting directors and agents say that the reason why some of their clients don't book things is because they just wanted it too much. And I feel like sometimes I would lead with being like, let me minimalize how much I really care about the process of being an actor. And I mean like sitting down with a play and reading through it day after day and analyzing what the relationships are, what the behavior is, rereading the words, going in, doing table work and researching about the play, researching about the playwriter, and getting your physical body in order so that you're able to get on stage and tell the truth. Because a lot of the times when you're on stage and you're in these very impossible circumstances where there's a bunch of lights on you, there's a full audience, and you're interacting with somebody else, it can make you freeze. So it's like, how can I work on my technique so that I can be able to be in front of those impossible circumstances and still tell the truth about the human experience? There are parts of me that were like, I don't want to show that that's something that I care about, you know? And I feel this more with musical theater than I do with like acting. Because with musical theater, I think sometimes it feels like there's a lot less freedom in a way. Or at least that's just for me. And I've really heard majority of the worst things that I've heard from musical theater, like agents or musical theater casting directors. And it's really not a fun industry at times. It really is not. And I mean, I guess I say all of this to say, because really the main reason why I started my YouTube channel was not only for me to document my own life, but also for, the people in middle school, high school, coming up in the world and wanting to know more about musical theater in New York and artistry and things like that. But more specifically, people who were like me and were like, I love this thing, and I don't want to just be a type of gal, I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, I only do soprano Christian Chenoweth shit. You know what I mean? No shade to those girls. I think you're awesome. I love a good soprano. No shade to y'all. That was just you get it. Anyways, I'm really doing it for the people, or the young women or young men or anyone, young people in general, that really want to make something out of this, or we're just in their first middle school or high school production and we're like, oh my god, I get such a high out of this, how the fuck do I keep doing this? So really, I say all this about artistry and musical theater and living in New York, to kind of like bring awareness and attention and give my experience to just how a lot of people will try to rip away your love for what you do because you're too much, I do think that there is a difference, I think sometimes wanting it out of desperation of being validated and wanting it because it's all you ever wanted to do. Sometimes the line is very, very thin. Sometimes the two really jump in and out of each other, because it's like, yes, I love this thing so much, and it's something that I can't see myself not doing. Like, this is something that like I must do with my life. And sometimes that can come into contact with, see me. I want you to see me and how incredible I am so that I can be able to do this. You know what I mean? So sometimes the two can really collide. And I think more than ever this month, I've really been focused on my truth as an artist and what I want to do, simply. The kind of stories that I want to tell, the type of artist that I want to be. And I think a really big thing is like separating the business from the art of theater. because at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business. And sometimes you really have to learn how to delineate when somebody is telling you no because you simply just don't fit what this business needs. You know, they're trying to fulfill a business requirement, and for whatever reason, and something that completely is out of your control, you do not fit that business standard. You have to delineate that from I'm a talented and good enough artist. Because the two are still standing. The two are still standing. You can be so talented and so amazing, and you can show up into the room and you can be so bubbly and so kind, and the person that walks in behind you could fit more of what their idea was what already was before they walked into the room. You know what I mean? So that's something that I've been sitting with. That's something I've been sitting with, you know, for a while. And for this whole month, you know, when I decided to really just like, at the beginning of this year, when I decided, I was like, I've got to go full throttle with this. Like, I have to hit the gas on this. I was working all these jobs that I was so like unfulfilled by, and it was just like, I don't even want to put in maximal effort to this because it's not what I want to do. It's temporary, girl. It is a little crazy, you know. At the end of the day, it's like, girl, but yeah, you gotta eat, you gotta work and things like that. And listen, God has provided for me, especially in this sense where I'm really like, you know, what's going on. But I think something that's kept me really sane is finding my truth in my own art, and how you're never too much. You're never too much, and you have to validate yourself in that. And more than anything, it is okay to show effort, especially when you're growing up and like, you know, you're entering a new state in a new world where people kind of like try to be effortless. You have to be an outlier. You have to be. When you see these beautiful artists, like when you see Kendrick, when you see Doechii, when you see Chappell Roan, I know y'all saw that performance. When you see all these artists that like truly have a love for this art form, I mean, of course, their art form is more musically, but still yet, having a love for that art form and saying, I'm going to put in all my effort towards honing and paying homage to this beautiful craft that has saved my life. You have to do that. As an artist, I feel like that is your duty. I feel like you cannot enter a world of performing arts and think that that you have to make it through not really caring. Why not care? Why not? I think like there's a certain demeanor, you know what I mean? Like there's certain demeanors when you walk into a room, and like I feel like personally there's nothing wrong with somebody going, wow, she really wants it. I feel like there is nothing wrong with that. I will say, and I will caution, that I have met a few, sometimes the MT baddies be doing too much. And I don't mean it in the sense that it's like coming from a place of artistry. I mean, it's coming from a place of being like, God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. How many people does it need? And it's like, it's a lot of sauce. It's a lot of sauce. And sometimes that's more so what I caution of being like, when it's not rooted in artistry and it's not rooted from a place, once again, when it's not rooted in a place that's rooted from a place that's coming from, I have a love for this art form and I have to do it. I have to do it. But when you have a love for this art form and you feel like you have to do it, that means that you have to put in effort towards being yourself and like telling the truth of you, like telling your truth, not trying to fit into somebody else's mold of the truth. You know, going in for auditions and doing weird shit, doing things that it's like not necessarily to get a reaction, but doing things that the cast recording didn't have. You know, and there are times where I have entered rooms and I did not give them cookie cutter material. I did not give them what was written on the page. I did not give them what was, I did not give them what the cast recording had, right? And I don't necessarily feel like that's what made me not book the show. I don't feel like that's what it was. And even if it was, I feel like it's like I still have to be true to who I am. You know? I'm like, if I don't, it's not that I'm gonna walk in and be like, you know, the wizard and die. Like, no. Like at that, you know, at that point it's like, babe, professionalism. But, you know, for your theater company in Wichita, Kansas, girl, let me do something. Let me add a little flavor, please. So that's what I think that's kind of all that I wanted to say. I feel like y'all have seen me in this jacket like so many times. And you know what? You're gonna see me in it again because this is my favorite jacket. It's Chrissy's jacket, and it's giving very much like my boyfriend's jacket. It's giving like, you know, lounge. It's giving, and I'm lounging. I'm lounging. So, I think that's kind of what I wanted to share. I'm still trying to figure out my own kind of like creative styling, especially when it comes to this actual app. But my intentions here, I want to like, to anybody who has stumbled upon my page or has been on my YouTube channel, I want you to fully know my intention here is to not become the next big YouTuber. Like, that's not necessarily my intention, but more so to like share my experience of what it is to build your life and build your career in your 20s. And whether you do theater or you don't do theater, I hope that we all can kind of connect in that way. And yeah, so like, I will say, I'm really trying to be consistent. I'm trying. I will say that much. I am trying. But I might not be able to do every Wednesday kind of a thing. But when a video drops, you know what's tea. And for y'all who have been watching and liking and commenting and subscribing, thank you so much. Like, genuinely. And I mean, people that I don't know, people that I genuinely don't know, but see my content and they enjoy it. So I appreciate you. And yeah, I think that's it for today. And I will see you guys when I see you. I am going to Florida on Tuesday to start my play. I want to get some like content for you guys while I'm there, and just like getting a few like behind the scenes, you know, like of like insight into my process and things like that. But I also kind of want to protect my own energy with that too. So I mean, like, sparingly, but I still want to be able to keep you guys kind of up to date. So I will see you guys in March. I'm so excited for like 80-degree weather. It snowed 2 days ago in New York. It's 31 degrees right now. The sun has been shining, so it's not as cold as it's been for like the past couple of days. But I cannot wait to touch a beach Oh my God. My mental health. My mental health. I could see her. I could see her right now. So I'm really excited for that. And I will keep you guys up to date. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. And we shall talk. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. And keep going. More than anything, keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. Keep loving the art. Keep being a student to this art. And keep thriving. And keep connecting to yourself and who you are and validating that who you are is enough. All right? If anybody doesn't like that message, up yours. All right. Bye. Love you. Mwah.